It's all about the impact graphics have on society, like how we use graphics in our daily lives and how we understand them. We've got the core specifications from the past few years, as well as the examiner's reports, and even some examples of student work.
We'll be able to give you some really specific advice on what the examiners are looking for.
So yeah, graphics in society, where do we even begin?
Well, I think a good place to start is with the fact that graphics are absolutely everywhere.
Oh, totally. I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep,
Hmm.
you're constantly surrounded by graphics.
Like what?
Well, just look around your room. You've got posters on the walls, logos on your clothes,
Yeah.
packaging on your urn brew.
Oh, yeah.
Even the icons on your phone are graphics.
That's right. And they're not just there to look pretty either. They all serve a purpose.
Exactly. Graphics are a powerful way to communicate information, tell stories, and even sell things.
Think about the signage for the upcoming Hogmanay Ceilidh, or the packaging on your favorite shortbread. Those graphics are designed to grab your attention and make you want to buy those things.
And that's what the SQA wants you to think about in the Graphics in Society section of the exam.
You need to be able to analyze how graphics are used, why they're designed the way they are, and what impact they have on us.
So it's not just about knowing the definitions of different graphic design terms.
Right.
It's about understanding how graphics function in our society.
And being able to apply your knowledge to real-world examples.
Okay, so real-world examples. Can you give us an example of what you mean?
Sure. Let's say you're walking down the street and you see a poster for a new movie. Now, how do you think that poster was designed to appeal to its target audience?
Well, I guess it would depend on the movie.
Exactly.
If it's an action movie, it might use bold colors and dramatic imagery to appeal to a younger male audience.
Right.
But if it's a romantic comedy, it might use softer colors and more playful imagery to appeal to a female audience.
Exactly. And that's the kind of thinking that the SQA is looking for in the exam.
They want you to be able to analyze the choices that graphic designers make and explain why those choices are effective.
And they also want you to be able to think about the impact that graphics have on our society, both positive and negative.
So it's not just about the technical aspects of graphic design.
Right.
It's about the bigger picture, how graphics shape our world, and how we can use graphics to make a difference.
So if you're feeling a bit lost with the graphics and society section, just remember to keep those things in mind. Think about the real world. Think about the impact of graphics. And think about the bigger picture.
That's great advice. I think it's really important for students to see that graphic design isn't just about making things look pretty.
Oh, it's definitely not just about that.
It's about using your skills to communicate ideas,
Right.
to solve problems,
Yeah.
and to make a difference in the world.
They want you to show that you understand the power of graphics and how they can be used to shape our society.
Now, that's a powerful thought. Graphics shaping society. It makes you realize just how important this subject really is.
It does.
And it makes you think about all the different ways that we can use graphics to make the world a better place.
Absolutely.
So yeah, graphics in society. It's a big topic, but it's a really important one.
It is.
And I think we've got a lot to cover in this show.
Definitely do.
So let's get started.
Sounds good.
One of the things that the SQA examiner's reports have consistently highlighted is that students need to go beyond simply stating facts. They need to show that they can think critically about graphics and apply their knowledge to real-world examples.
I completely agree. Just memorizing definitions and regurgitating information from the textbook isn't going to cut it. You need to show that you understand how graphics function in our society.
So how can students demonstrate that they understand the why behind graphics?
Well, one way is to focus on the explain questions.
Oh yeah, those explain questions.
Yeah.
Every higher graphics student's favorite.
I know, right? But they're actually a really good opportunity to show the examiners that you can think critically about graphics.
So what exactly are the examiners looking for in those explain questions?
Well, they want to see that you can go beyond just describing what you see. You need to explain the why behind it.
Okay, so for example, let's say you're analyzing a poster for a concert. It's not enough to just say the poster uses bright colors and bold typography. You need to dig deeper and explain why those design choices were made and what effect they have on the viewer.
Right. You need to say something like, the bright colors and bold typography are used to grab attention and create a sense of excitement, making the concert seem unmissable.
Oh, I see. So you're showing the examiners that you understand how design elements and principles are used to communicate specific messages. and evoke emotional responses.
Exactly. And those course reports provide a goldmine of insight into how to approach those explain questions effectively.
So students should definitely be checking those out.
Oh, for sure. They highlight common pitfalls students make, and they offer tips on how to structure your answers.
That's really helpful. So if you're a higher graphics student out there and you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by the graphics and society section, don't worry. Take a deep breath. And remember, it's all about developing your critical thinking skills and applying your knowledge to the world around you.
You got this.
I like that. You got this. All right, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back to delve a little deeper into the world of graphics and society.
One thing that always strikes me, like when looking through these SQA materials, is how much our relationship with graphics has changed. Even in just the past few years, think about it. We're living in a world just absolutely saturated with visual information. I mean, constantly bombarded by images and logos and symbols, all just screaming for our attention.
That's true. And it's not even just the quantity of graphics that's changed, it's how we consume them. It used to be we were just passive recipients of information. Now we're actively engaging with graphics, sharing them, liking them, commenting on them, even creating our own.
Exactly. And that's something this SQA notes really get into, this idea of visual literacy.
The visual literacy.
Yeah, basically the ability to actually interpret and analyze visual information.
So like having a secret decoder ring for the visual world.
I like that, yeah.
You can see beyond just the surface and understand the message.
And this visual literacy is crucial, not just for this exam, but for just navigating life in general.
I mean, it's everywhere. Think about the news. They're always using infographics and charts and maps to try to present complex information.
And if you don't have that visual literacy, you might misinterpret the data or miss something important.
Or even worse, be swayed by some misleading graphic designed to manipulate you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's why it's so important to be able to think critically about the graphics we see, to question the source, consider the audience, and evaluate the design choices.
Okay, so all that makes sense. But how do we actually apply all this visual literacy stuff to the exam? I mean, it's one thing to talk about it in theory, but how do we show the examiners that we really get it?
Well, the SESQA reports have some great examples of how students can show off those visual literacy skills. One common type of question is analyzing a specific graphic item, like a logo, a poster, or even a web page design.
Okay, so we need to go beyond just describing the elements of design. We need to explain how those choices contribute to the overall message.
Exactly. You might talk about the target audience, the cultural context, the use of symbolism, or even the emotional impact of the design.
So it's all about showing we can connect the dots and understand the why behind the design choices.
Exactly. Another type of question you might see involves comparing and contrasting different graphics, like 2 ads for competing products or 2 posters promoting different events.
That sounds pretty tricky. I'd have to be super organized to make sure I covered all the key points.
Yeah, it's all about having a system. Maybe make a table or a Venn diagram to help organize your thoughts.
That's a good idea.
And remember, it's not about finding the right or wrong answer. It's about making thoughtful observations and supporting your arguments with evidence.
Okay, cool. Now, I did notice that the SQA reports mention something called semiotics, which sounds a bit intimidating. What's that all about?
Semiotics. That's basically the study of signs and symbols and how they create meaning. Think of it like this. Every graphic element, from colors to fonts to images, can be interpreted as a sign, conveying a specific message.
So even something as simple as a red stop sign is loaded with meaning. The color red means danger. The shape is recognizable, and the word stop reinforces the message.
Exactly. And understanding semiotics can really help you analyze graphics in a more nuanced way. You start to see how even subtle design choices can have a big impact.
I bet advertisers are masters of semiotics.
Oh, absolutely. They use it all the time to influence our perceptions of products and brands.
So it's like a superpower. If we can learn to decode those messages, then we'll be immune to their tricks.
Well, maybe not immune, but definitely more aware of how they're trying to influence us.
That's still pretty powerful.
And semiotics isn't just about marketing and advertising either. It's relevant to any area where graphics are used to communicate, from education to healthcare to entertainment.
So as higher graphics students, we need to be able to analyze these semiotic messages in all sorts of contexts.
Exactly. Think about the signage in a hospital or the icons on a website. They're all using semiotics to guide us.
This is making me think about our coursework assignment, too. I bet understanding semiotics could help us create more effective designs.
Absolutely. When you're creating your own graphics, you need to think carefully about the messages you're sending. and how you can use semiotics to achieve your desired effect.
So if I'm designing a poster for a charity event, I need to pick colors, fonts, and images that evoke the right emotions and clearly communicate the purpose.
Exactly. It's all about making conscious design choices that align with your message and target audience.
It's kind of amazing when you think about all the thought that goes into even the simplest graphic designs.
Yep.
It's not just about making things look pretty, it's about communicating effectively.
It really is. And that's what makes the graphics and society sections so fascinating. It's not just about the technical skills, it's about understanding the power of visual communication
Yeah.
and how it shapes our world.
You know, it's amazing when you think about it. Something as simple as like a color or a font can actually have a huge impact on how we see things and how we make decisions.
Oh yeah, for sure. It really shows just how powerful graphic design is. It's not just about aesthetics. You've got psychology, sociology, even politics.
Well, hold on. Politics. How do graphics even play into politics?
Well, think about political campaigns for a second. You've got posters, slogans, even the clothes they wear. It's all carefully designed to create a certain image and to appeal to certain types of people.
Right. It's all about persuading people and influencing them.
Exactly. And it's not just for elections either. Governments use graphics all the time to communicate public health messages or to promote certain policies.
Oh, no, right. Like all those public safety campaigns.
Yes, exactly. With the catchy slogans and those visuals you just can't forget.
So graphics can be a powerful tool to do good in the world, too.
Absolutely. They can educate, inspire, empower. Think about some of those iconic protest posters throughout history. They've played such a big role in shaping our conversations and driving social movements.
I never thought about it like that before. It makes you realize that graphic design isn't just a job. It's a way to actually make a difference.
Exactly. And the skills you're learning in this higher graphics course are giving you the tools to do just that.
I like that. It's like we're superheroes.
You know, in a way, yeah. You're learning how to communicate, effectively think critically, use visual language to change how people see things.
So as we get ready for this final exam and work on our coursework, we need to remember that it's about more than just the technical stuff.
It is.
It's about the message we want to send,
Yeah.
the people we want to reach.
It's about making an impact.
So yeah, don't just create graphics, create meaning,
Yeah.
tell stories, spark conversations.
Challenge assumptions.
The world needs your visual voice.
It does.
So go out there and just make it brilliant.
Ace that exam.
Create amazing designs. And most importantly, use your graphic superpowers for good.
I can't wait to see what you all come up with.
I know, me too. That's all the time we have for today. But we hope this deep dive into graphics and society has given you all the tools you need to ace your exam and think about the world in a whole new way.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.